Bloomberg Audio Studios.
Podcasts, radio, news.
Single best idea. What are we doing here? We're trying to do a short podcast. Everybody's lined up like with the big take, David Gura's wonderment. But the big take, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. We're trying to do a quick 3, 4, 5 minute single best idea. Where we do two. It should have been double best idea or single best ideas. Forget about it. It's single best idea. And it's just 2 vignettes from the wonderful set of guests we have. We always have too many to choose from. Rebecca Patterson stopped by today to start us off strong on a Fed week. Number of different themes. She walked in and said, look, I look strong dollar. I looked resilient dollar. But Rebecca Patterson said really the surprise out there could be not only resilient inflation or even elevated inflation, but more than that.
Think about risks in the next year. And one risk that I think is on people's radar screens, but maybe not enough, is a resurgence of inflation. And one area I think you want to watch is food inflation. U.S. farmers are struggling right now. They can't get enough workers. And 70% of workers in U.S. farming are immigrants. About half of those are illegal immigrants. If you reduce the workers, you can't get the crops out of the ground, prices go up, profits go down. In addition to that, though, the tariffs are a big hit on U.S. farmers. In 2018-19, that year period alone, they lost $27 billion in export revenue. Now, last time, Trump bailed them out. They got over $80 billion in government subsidies. Yeah. This time, they don't have as much free money flowing to hand out. So why do avocados come in the mix? Because 90% of American avocados come from Mexico. And if we don't have people to get those avocados out of the ground here in California, and the tariffs on Mexico are causing some retaliation, avocados are going to become a luxury good.
And Lisa Mateo weighed in on the use of avocado oil. I learned more about avocados today than I have in ages. They're very strong and very rich in magnesium. I didn't know that. Thank you, Rebecca Patterson, on avocados and on inflation as well. People don't say go to cash, get out of the market. Pros, including at the Hong Kong Shanghai Banking Corporation, say, okay, you got to participate, get over it. Max Kettner in London has been brilliant for HSBC in saying participate in the market. He reaffirms that and even looks at a Europe, a Germany, flat on their back.
I think Europe, we shouldn't throw in completely the towel on that, particularly on the equity and the credit space. Let's remember, when you look at Euro high yield nowadays is only 6% triple Cs. We've had 2 default waves already in the last 4 years. So people trying to play politics, for example, in Euro credit, that doesn't work. You look at Euros and equities. Look at German equities. You were just saying VW. Well, German equities are up more than 20%. Yeah, sure enough, they've been trailing the S&P. That's not really a year where you'd be like, oh my God, everything is in the doldrums. Absolutely not. So we've got to remember that when we buy German equities, you're not buying the politics. You're not just buying the China baskets. What you're buying right now is the SAPs, the Infineons, the Rheinmetall, Siemens Energy. So you're buying a bit of defense. You're buying the AI story. You're buying into tech. That's really what's driving German small caps right now. Doesn't really have a lot to do with the German elections, I think.
Max Kettner, enthusiastic there on finding value in Europe. Of course, our team, Oliver Crook and others in Europe, watching the important political developments in Germany. It's a Fed week on Wednesday, of course. We'll do the Fed show. Really looking forward to that. Presumed rate cut. Yawn. Well, last time it wasn't a yawn. It was actually really, really interesting. I think we'll see more of the same there this week. Across your commute, across the nation, I should say, on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Good morning on Sirius XM. On YouTube, just thrilled at what we're doing. Subscribe to Bloomberg Podcasts. Out on YouTube to get us each and every morning. And on YouTube Podcasts, this is Single Best Idea.